network connectivity. Hello, 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 everybody. I just got a low connectivity notice here, so we're going to give it a shot anyway. So, welcome to Midweek Motivation with Chris Wilson. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm going to need a little assistance from my dear husband today. I have 31% on my Mac. Can you plug me in? Hi, Terry. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome to Midweek Motivation with Chris Wilson. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning into Midweek Motivation. I am very grateful to each of you, for hanging out with me. Hi, Olivia. Thank you so much for joining. I am so thankful for y'all for hanging out with me here on Midweek Motivation. And for those of you who stick with me through the Majestic Christian Network piece, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, And, for those of you who consistently share out these videos, thank you again, because you obviously feel, that what we share here is worth sending out even further. And, that means a lot to me. So thank you, and thank you. Guys, God is on the move, y'all, and we want to move with the cloud, the cloud of his presence as he is moving. Can you bring me some water? I know I got my husband bringing me some water, y'all, because y'all know about 30 minutes into this and straight talking, I'm going to get dry, right? So, listen, the first thing I want to do today is to share my brother, Larry. I have a brother named Larry. He lives in Killeen, Texas. And I want to share a part of his testimony today, simply because, number one, listen, the testimony is amazing. It is amazing. And number two, to kind of demonstrate the overwhelming love of God and how he will go to great lengths to show us, each of us individually, those of us who trust him and believe in him, that he really holds us in a special place in his heart. And that's what this testimony shared with me. Let me put it that way. And I hope it does the same for you. So my brother went through a time of dealing with cancer, okay? He carried out everything that the doctors instructed him to, and he completed all the rounds of treatment, thank you, which dropped his PSA to 0, which is where we want it to be, right? So then, for some reason, his count started rising again, so he's back in strategic and intensive treatment to bring it back down again. So, and we're really encouraged. The family's praying with him and for him. He sounds good, feels pretty good all the time, and we're really encouraged by that. So, and yes, he is a child of God and has a healthy church family there supporting him in Texas. So, that's another plus for him. So, this is the succession of text messages that he shared with me and my siblings and his children, my nieces and nephews on Monday. Okay, this happened on Monday. And I tell you, I love how God did this. At 7:54 a.m. Monday morning, my brother sends out a text message that says, quote, "Good morning, all. Doing okay. I am in ICU kicking the flu," unquote. Okay, so now, this is not, something you want to hear when your loved one is still working his way through cancer, right? And, if we are believing God that he will get on the other side of this, but I felt pretty good about it since he was in ICU, and that is the best place for him so that he can get the fluids that he needs and the attention that he needs to get through this whole flu situation and get over with that, right? So I thank God for him being in ICU, and I prayed and asked God to, get him on through this whole flu situation with the fluids that he needs and get him out of there, right? All right. 10:22 a.m. He sends another text message. Quote, updating all. I have pneumonia, left side of my chest. No worries. God has a plan for me. Unquote. Hi, Denise King. Thank you for watching. I'm sharing a brief testimony from my brother right now, who is in Texas. And listen, it's just amazing. So that text message at 10:22 says, quote, updating all. I have pneumonia, left side of my chest. No worries. God has a plan for me. Unquote. Now, when I read this text, okay, my heart skipped a beat and I almost shed a tear until I took notice of my brother's last clause of that text message. It said, no worries. God has a plan for me. Okay, come on here. That right there did my heart good and strengthened my faith, right? Now, look at that. Larry is the one laying in ICU, and he is strengthening my faith through his text messages. It was amazing. That's how it should be, y'all. That's really how it should be. So let's go further. At 2:11 p.m., he sends another text to the family that says, quote, it's on. No sign of pneumonia. Won't he do it? Unquote. Look at how God met him right at his point of faith. Right at his point of faith. God met him right there. He spoke this even before the doctors had a clue. Okay? He knew that his God was there working things out for him because, quote, God has a plan for him, unquote. I love it. I'm telling y'all, his text messages were just making my heart glad. Just making my heart glad. Listen, he ain't finished. At 5:22 p.m., we get another text message that says, quote, getting prepared to be released, testimonial complete, unquote. Can you get that? Oh my God, what a blessed assurance he had. Listen, my brother had a blessed assurance as he walked through that day, as he walked through his day. And I'm telling you, what blessed assurance he had as he watched his God do what only his God could do, heal and strengthen his body. It was phenomenal. And for him to conclude his messages to the family with testimonial complete. Come on, y'all. Wow. Those two words have never spoken so loudly than on Monday when he sent out those text messages to us. Testimonial complete. What? What a powerful demonstration of his faith and trust in the Lord. I'm telling you, it was a powerful demonstration. What an awesome example of a believer. I'm telling you, that thing just really, that whole day, just looking at that day in a snapshot, it does something for me every time I think about it. He saw the whole entire experience as a reason to give God praise. I cannot tell y'all how proud of my brother I am and how grateful I am to God that I was able to witness this portion, this small part of his journey. And to think that all happened in one day. Amazing. Just to sit back and see the succession of events. I should go from here and go up to see the succession of events over the course of a day. That had he not had the right perspective, had he not had the right image of his God, had he not had the right verbal expressions of who he believes his God to be, that day could have turned out a little differently for him. But because he went into the experiences of that day with the thing in his mind, I'm okay. I'm just updating y'all, letting y'all know what's happening with me. And no worries, because God has a plan for me. And obviously that plan did not include laying up in the ICU with pneumonia. Okay. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. That thing really touched my heart. And it really encourages me to be very specific am very particular about the things that I hear and the things that I speak out of my mouth. It really does. And I just wanted to share that with y'all as we open up for midweek motivation for today. All right? All right. So let's get cranking. Father, we thank you in advance for what you will say to us today. Thank you for opening our eyes to see from your perspective. Thank you for opening our ears to hear you at a deeper level. Thank you for causing us to remember what you spoke over us and stamped on our DNA before the very foundation of the world. We ask that you give us the courage to swiftly obey what you've been whispering in our ear and laying on our hearts to do. We love you, Lord, and we seek to do your will. Amen. Amen. All right. So as we have set the stage for an encounter with the Lord through our praise and our prayer and our worship, listen, he delights in sharing his heart with us because we have first acknowledged his supremacy. So listen, I want to chat with y'all a little today about looking from a different perspective. Hey, Lawrence, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I want to chat with you guys today just about looking at things from a different perspective, a different view, a different angle, a different vantage point. All right. So, all right, I have to do this, my moment of transparency. Okay, this would be my moment of transparency. Some time ago, I jumped out here on Facebook and on all of my social media platforms, did posts inside of Instagram, and I was on Twitter tweeting this stuff out, right? I jumped out here and told everybody that I was an editor and a book publisher, right? And I had a bad experience, and I pulled out of that lane altogether. Okay, even though I'm still very, very passionate about it, the editing piece, that is. For instance, when I edited my good friend Mary's book recently, it really lit the fire within me all over again, and I was really willing to be satisfied with editing for her only, because I know she's got some, more books coming. But I was really, really going to be satisfied with editing books for her only. But I now, I realize that it goes even deeper than that. It really does. I was reading through some coursework and ran across quite a few errors in a short period of time. This is somebody else's coursework, not Mary's. This is Mary writes books. But I was, hi, Andy. Thank you for joining. I was reading some coursework that I saw online. And hi, Fraser. Thank you for joining. He said, we all watching. So that means that Fraser and Ashley and Beverly are out there watching. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. Woo woo. So yeah, after having announced that I'm going to do these books and do this editing, and I'm going to be this book publisher, and that one bad experience turned me upside down and out and inside out, and I ran and hid. I was like, okay, that situation is not for me, and I'm not going to do it. Even though I was still very, very passionate about editing people's books and editing good material. Excuse me. And I think that is the caveat, to edit good material. Thanks for the heart, Beverly. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. And so everyone says hi. I love it. So yeah, after having that bad experience, and I pulled back, and I was basically denying myself the expression, the passion that I have for reading and for editing and for helping people to shine. So again, I edited one of Mary's books, and that thing really, really lit the fire back inside of me again. So it even goes deeper when I think about it. I was reading through, again, this coursework that I ran across, but I ran across quite a few errors in a short period of time of reading that coursework, and that literally bothered me. It really, really bothered me. And what do you do when things bother you? Okay, you make yourself available to be a part of the solution. That's what we should do anyway. Let me see. Fraser says, can't wait till you can broadcast all over all over the house. Yes, Fraser. That day is coming real soon. That's an inside joke, and I will not share it with the entire Facebook family. So yeah, instead of being part of a problem, for in the space. When you find something that really, really bothers you about what you're seeing happening, what we should do is make ourselves part of the solution. So yes, I am once again offering my services as an editor. And I see so many wonderful people out there in social media, in the whole social media space, and they're posting some wonderful content. And, if I can offer a service that will help them shine even brighter, then, that's what I want to do. That's what I really want to do. But again, I had to zoom out. I had to take a look at my past bad experiences, with editing from a higher perspective. I had to peer into it from a different vantage point, a different angle, and decide that this really is a passion of mine. And, I can't allow a bad experience to keep me from fulfilling my calling, right? For fulfilling my calling. And this is praise God for all over. Y'all stop. Fraser, that's in response to what you said. So, yeah, I just simply cannot allow, that any particular bad experience to keep me from fulfilling my calling. So I have accepted the fact that and can actually say with confidence now that I have been blessed with great scriptic expressions, right? And the one thing I've learned through this process is that I cannot allow the experience to overshadow the call. I cannot allow the experience to overshadow the call. I cannot allow the experience to overshadow the passion. Instead, I have to figure out a way around whatever hindrances may arise. I have to keep the goal in mind. I have to keep the passion in the forefront. All right. So what I have learned is that I have the power. Listen, I have the power and the authority to choose who I work with. What I have learned is that I can certainly refer people on, if that relationship is not a good fit for me. I can refer them on to someone else. There's a huge network that has been built. And if I tap into that, then I can find people that I can refer others to if it's not a good fit for me, right? So listen, do you have any idea how empowering that is? I'm telling you how wonderfully empowering that information, that new revelation, that liberation is for me. And I tell you, that right there is material for a workshop, right? Laugh out loud. That's material for a workshop. Just to think that you do not have to subject yourself to relationships that don't work for you. Even in a business relationship, or especially in a business relationship, in any relationship, in ministry, you do not have to subject yourself to relationships that are not working for you, relationships that are not causing you to shine, relationships that are not causing you to dig deep and come out with the best of you, relationships that could hinder you and harm you and hurt you and set you up for failure. No, you can decide. You have the power and the authority to decide that this is not working for me. So let me refer you to this person or that person who I think would be a better fit. And then you can wash your hands of that and keep moving in the thing that you are passionate about. Instead of I washed my hands of the situation, but I stopped. I completely stopped entirely. I ran and hid into another corner and said, well, then that is obviously not what I'm supposed to be doing. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It's just that I needed to look at it from a different perspective. And I've done that now, and I absolutely love it. I'm back in the lane, y'all. So yeah, I am grateful for this lesson, this lesson learned, because I can now move forward with a greater sense of assurance because there is greater clarity surrounding this particular segment of my calling. It's a piece of the greater of what I'm supposed to be doing. So I really do. I appreciate that piece that I play, but a piece to the overall picture of bringing to the public the wonderful information and creative content and tantalizing text messages, and instant messages, I'm super, super hyped. Hi, Richard. Thank you so much for joining. I'm super, super hyped and ready to hit the ground running. And what is so amazing to me is that I have been seeing myself surrounded by books, surrounded by books. I initially thought they were, books that I had written myself, but it could quite possibly be a combination, right, of books that I have written and books that I'm editing for others. And I absolutely love this. And I'm so willing and so ready for this. I'm so there. I'm so there to be present in this part of my life. I'm so there. I'm excited about it. And to think I truly had thrown the baby out with the bathwater. Thank God he protected the baby until I came to my senses and looked at this whole situation from a different perspective. And just because I've done that, I have already, and in talking this through with some of my friends, my business friends, I've already set myself into a position where I could, it could potentially be a business venture for me. And simply by accepting that and recognizing that and looking at it from a different perspective and not hiding from it anymore. And it's just amazing to me, totally amazing. And so that is what I offer to you today. Is there something that you really thought you wanted to do, but when you stepped into that lane, something happened and then you threw in the towel because something happened. There was a bump in the road, or there was some resistance, or there was some obstacle that you had to come across or go under or go around. There was something that happened that caused you to say, "Ooh, this is just a little not the way I thought it would go." So you threw in the towel. Okay, things weren't as smooth as you anticipated, and you took that as your reason to quit. One person said something that was discouraging to you, and you believed them instead of believing what the Lord has told you. You fell into the discouragement of the naysayers. You let the external resound louder than the internal, or did you allow your own thoughts to sabotage you? Well, look again from a different vantage point. Those people who are waiting for you to step into your authenticity are still waiting. Those who are waiting to hear your message of freedom and liberation are still waiting. Those waiting to attend your conference or retreat or event are still waiting. Those assigned to be in your class or to be a part of your challenge are still waiting. Those who need you to edit their work before they post it on social media full of errors because you ran back into hiding after one bad experience, they're still waiting. They're still waiting. They're still waiting on me to get in the lane, to edit their stuff so that they won't post a bunch of errors. All right. This is your invitation to come out of hiding. This is your invitation to get back out into your lane and to crush it, because you know that stuff. You know your stuff. You know it inside and out. You know how to do those things that God has called and created and crafted you to do. You know how to do it. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it because it's a passion for you. It's a passion. Get back out. Come out of hiding. This is your invitation to gear back up again and serve the people you have been assigned to serve. And let me tell you something, it's going to bring great joy. If you feel anything close to how I'm feeling right now, having acknowledged this and having recognized this and am willing and ready to jump back in the lane, then it's an awesome expression. It's an awesome feeling. And I want everyone who will hear, who are hearing now and who will hear this video, I want everyone to have that same feeling, because to live out loud in our destiny, in our passion, in our calling, in our giftings, in our talents, and those things that bring us great joy, those things that cause us to wake up in the morning and say, yes, I get to do this again. Those things, when we find out those things and we get in those lanes and we do those things, there's nothing but joy and happiness and peace of mind. And, even though it may be a fast pace, it may be a momentum of stuff, but, fulfillment, that's the right word. Fulfillment is what we receive when we say yes to those things, when we give into and when we pursue those things that bring us this great joy. So listen, I am certainly not trying to make any of you feel bad or I'm certainly not trying to reprimand anyone for anything, not at all, because I found myself there a few days ago, having to dust off a passion that I tried to bury. And seriously, I don't even know when it was. It may have been middle of the year or even the first part of the year. I literally thought I had buried that whole editing thing because I had such a horrible experience. All right. So, but okay, obviously it's still in me. It's still a part of who I am. So listen, we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses who have done some of the same things. Not just me telling you that this has happened to me, but we are surrounded by a great amount of people who have done just that. For instance, the disciples, they had been out over a 3-year period with Jesus, listening to his messages, being with him, sleeping, eating. They did everything together. Then when they were at a point when they should have been, when they were mature enough in the message that should be delivered to go out, he sent them out 2 by 2, right? To do the same thing. And listen, after he was crucified, they thought their preaching time was over. And what did they do? They went back to doing what they were doing before they were called, fishing. They went back to fishing. There had to be yet another encounter with the Lord before they saw that the call was not revoked. And that's what happened with me. I had to have another encounter before. And I'm telling you, when I read the content, I can't think of what it was now, but when I read that content and I saw all those errors in it, it really hurt my heart. It really saddened me, because I'm like, wow, man, just to have someone available who, and willing to read your stuff and help you shine. It's such a small thing to me in my head, and it's something that I have been gifted and to do. And yeah, everybody missed one here and there and again, even still, but when you can see, and especially when you're writing your own stuff, when you're doing your own stuff, you really do miss things. But to be able to look at somebody else's work and say, just give me 5 minutes with this, and I can polish it up for you, and then you can post it and it'll be much better, So yeah, they had to have, the disciples, they had to have one more encounter with the Lord before they saw that the call was not revoked. Just like the calling to editing has not been revoked. Jesus didn't change his mind about them, and neither has he changed his mind about me, and neither has he changed his mind about what he has gifted and called and created and set you aside to do either. The disciples had to take a glimpse into the call from a different perspective. And that's what we have to do. We have to take a look at the things that we are doing, we want to do, and that we got discouraged from doing by whatever method it was. We have to look at those things from a different perspective and realize I can still do this. I should still do this, but let me do it this way, a smarter, wiser way. Okay, the disciples, they had to wait until they were filled with the Holy Spirit and power, so they could spread the gospel with the same authority as Jesus. So I had to not be so hard on myself for giving up the first time out the chute. Nope. And it's okay. It's okay. I see better now, and I'm much more determined to flow in my expression unapologetically. God is good. Amen. So give yourself a break, but get back in the race. Get back in the race. It's a relay race, guys, and the person that you need to hand off to is already running, waiting for you to catch up. So dust that stuff off, get back in the race, okay? Hi, Alfonso. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining, Alfonso. So yeah, guys, those things, that thing that every time you see it, it causes you to go, ugh, even though you put it on the back burner or you tried to bury it like I did. When you see those things crop back up in your life, and it makes you cringe when you see it, because you really want to be involved in the solution, because you really want to get involved in making it better. You want to help somebody else to shine. You want to, set somebody else's crown back up straight on their head. Those things that you really want to put your hands to and you want to get engaged in. I'm encouraging you today. I'm encouraging today to look at those things from a different perspective, and then dust those things back off and get back in the game. All right. Life lessons from the pages of my journal. That was my moment of transparency, and hopefully someone will be able to get something out of that and be able to move forward in those things that God has called them to do. Hi, cousin Sheila. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, so I really want to encourage you not to allow, one bad experience to cause you to no longer follow the path that you have been created and crafted and set aside to follow. Don't allow one bad experience to cause you to close the door on opportunities that the Lord has opened for you. Don't allow one bad experience to cause you to bury your gift, to bury your talent, to bury your calling, to bury the anointing that's on your life, because your life will be miserable as a result of doing so. But when you realize that, and you take that thing back and you dust it off and you dig it back up, and you look at it from a different perspective, and you'll be able to see that you have been given the power, you have been given the authority to move in those things that God has created and crafted and set you aside to do. You have been given the power and the authority to do that. And one of the hard things about that realization is that everyone is not going to agree with you. Everyone is not going to like you. Everyone is not going to encourage you. Everyone is not going to push you forward in those things. But if the passion is there for you, let that be your momentum. Let that push you, because there will be enough people out there who will encourage you, and there will be enough people out there who will push you forward and be with you and walk with you and give you some direction and guidance, especially people who are ahead of you in the same lane. They can give you instruction and guidance and help push you along. Hi, Jessica. Thank you so much for joining. That's my niecey. Yeah, so I just want to encourage you all today, as like I said, life lessons from my journal about things that have gone wrong, the little twists and turns that have gone wrong in my life, and how I have learned this very lesson from giving up on my passion for editing, because I had one bad experience. And now I am back in the saddle, and I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to hit the ground running, and I'm ready to edit your material. I'm ready to edit your content. I'm ready to help you shine. Yes and yes. So, guys, it is 6:03, so that does it for the midweek motivation aspect of today's video. Thank you so much, guys, for jumping on. Thank you so much for being with me. And we're going to transition right after the closing prayer. We're going to transition over to where we are right now. Seems like I just forgot something. So let me close out. Thank you, Father, for your wisdom and discernment, your strategies and solutions, your divine opportunities and open doors. Thank you for favor and forward movement in you. And I thank you for my place of worship. As we reflect on who you are and all you've done in bringing us unto yourself, our hearts are filled with gratitude and thanksgiving. Thank you for speaking to our hearts and bringing about the necessary correction that we need to live our lives according to your plans for us. Help us to make room for you through our praise and worship, that we would be strengthened in the inner man, and so we will be positioned to move when you do. When you make the assignment, we'll be positioned to move. Write your plans on our hearts, and we will obey. We love you, Lord. Amen and amen. Amen. Thank you guys so much for your comments, and thank you for being here with us on Midweek Motivation today. And now we will transition over to the Majestic Christian Network and the Authentically You segment. Thank you, Linda, for joining. Hi. So, our spotlight lineup for today, guys. I am so excited. Listen, the very first spotlight today is actually the Majestic Christian Network, Internet Radio. Yes. I've been talking with y'all for quite a few months now about this new venture that my business partner, Mary Beasley, and I are embarking upon. Well, the day has finally come. We had a brief conference call today with the SIBN owner, and he assured us that our station is up and running. Woo-hoo! And we are ready for broadcasting. How cool is that? Yes, how cool is that? It really, really feels just a bit surreal now that it's actually finally here. But it's finally here. Hi, Felicia. Thank you for joining. I got some newbies on today. Thank you guys for joining. So yeah, I am so excited. Lance Green, thank you for watching that. The Majestic Christian Network and radio station, our radio station is now up and running. And next week we will be going live on internet radio. Woo, woo, woo! I am so super excited. I'm super excited. It feels very, very surreal, but I am super excited through this. I really am. We have taken the leap of faith. We have launched out into the deep. We have hit the accelerator and are in the race. I'm telling y'all, we are set to take the next decade by storm. Yes. I'm so excited. But there are still so many things for us to learn as we take this journey. This is new territory for us. But the excitement and the exhilaration and all the newness of the venture is propelling us forward, and I'm so super excited. The sheer volume, of the possibilities that lie ahead are endless. They are endless. The people that can be reached with your message and with my message is endless. It's endless. But, I'll talk about that a little bit later on. I just wanted to start out this whole segment with the Majestic Christian Network, with the shout out that we are actually ready to go live next week. Woo, woo. Hi, Vanetta. Thank you so much for watching. And I've said it before as I was announcing the upcoming of the whole internet radio, that really what you guys will see probably won't be any much different, if any at all. It's just that we'll be going out on on an additional platform. We're going out on the Streaming Inspiration Broadcast Network, SIBN, who will be hosting the Majestic Christian Network Radio. So yeah, I'm super excited about it and cannot wait, to connect with some of you guys out there to see how you guys can be a part of that whole network. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So our spotlights. Let's go to our next spotlight for today. That next spotlight is actually still in the conception phase, but I want to get this part of it out to you guys, out to the audience well in advance, so you guys can get prepared. All right, so Lumar Innovations will be having a Christian Indie Writers Contest / competition, culminating in an awards gala. How cool is that? Okay, so what I know right now, indie authors are self-published authors like me. So isn't it wonderful that someone wants to shine the light on those of us who have published our own books, right? We did so because we know we have a message the world needs to have, and we did need to have that message right now. Hi, Sissy. Thank you for joining. Lori, thank you so much. And instead of waiting until we have pulled together this large sum of money to pay a publishing house, we have chosen, because we see the value in our voice and we have taken the time to walk through the process of self-publishing. Okay, so now there will be this whole indie writers competition ending in this fantastic gala. But as I said, it's in the conception phase right now. So there will be, she says, hey, hi, mighty woman of God. I hear you, Lori. There will be a set of criteria that has to be met in this competition, or that the judges will use to score each of the books, right? The highest scored book will win a grand prize, So how cool is that? How cool is that? It's always wonderful to have people that celebrate what you're doing, that recognize that you're doing something, first of all, and then to set something aside to celebrate what it is that you're doing. Hi, Grace Nickens. Thank you for joining. I tell you, I have a lot of first timers today. I love it. So yeah, again, this whole indie book competition is in the conception phase right now, but I do believe that there will be a first and second place winners. I am again really looking forward to this, and as the details shape up, y'all already know that I'll keep you informed so that you can get ready to submit your book for entry or books for entry. There will be 4 or 5 genres of entry, so get ready, right? There will be a nominal entry fee with, again, first and second place winners. The first place winner, though, will also get a seat at the table on the Author's Corner segment of the Majestic Christian Network Radio. Woo woo! And their book will be spotlighted and talked about and given some great exposure. Great exposure. So stay tuned for further details as planning has just begun on this grand event. All right. So our next spotlight. Hey, Andy Wilson Sr. Felicia says, hey, Andy. Our next spotlight of the day is Unity in the Community. The city of Seat Pleasant, which is a smart city of excellence, is hosting their pre-Thanksgiving dinner. I know, right? Thanksgiving will be here before you know it, right? So get ready. But this is my most favorite time of the year, so it's all cool with me. Bring it on, right? So the pre-Thanksgiving dinner will be Friday, November 22nd, starting at noon. There will be fellowship and activities and free food. This year, the event is being held at the Seat Pleasant Activity Center, which is 5702 Addison Road in Seat Pleasant, Maryland. Last year was Grace Cathedral's first time partnering in this event. And let me tell you guys, we had an awesome time. There's always a sense of joy and well-being when you serve others and you give back. So we're looking forward to November 22nd. And, if you're in the DMV, if you're in the area, you want to stop by, you want to be a part of serving the neighborhood, we welcome you. We welcome you. A link to the flyer will be in the header when I upload this video. So I hope to see you guys there. Now, our next spotlight is actually happening this weekend. It's happening starting on Friday. SpeakerCon 2019 kicks off on Friday. And it is a premier first of its kind. And I love that fact that it's the first of its kind. And it's local. I love that. It's hosted by founder and visionary Cheryl Wood. It's a convention, a conference, and an awards gala for professional speakers and verbal communication experts, including radio personalities and broadcasters, podcasters, and activists. So see, these events where people are identifying these niche businesses, and then they are magnifying them and supporting them and encouraging them to do greater things, and then celebrating them at the end with a gala. I love that, so we need to support each other, and that's what these events do. At this event, though, you will gain access to invaluable industry resources, workshops, demos, service providers, products, and industry experts. SpeakerCon is where professional speakers come to connect, grow, and celebrate. This event is open to all entrepreneurs, small business owners, organizations, authors, and coaches. Tickets are going fast, so don't miss out. And my good friend Nina is a member of the media team, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some great social media posts about this event. And so I'm going to jump down through some of the other shout outs today because it is 6:14, and I really want to talk about Majestic Christian Network because we are getting ready to go live next week on internet radio. That just blows my mind, and I'm very excited about it. Again, it's a whole new area for us, and so, there's a lot to learn, and so, there are things I'm sure we're going to stumble along the way, but we're out there in the lane, and we're going to stumble along until we get this thing right. So, listen, y'all, we are all about out there just trying in our communities. We're out there looking for people who are doing some wonderful things so we can bring the spotlight to them and to support them and to celebrate them, because these people out there they're crushing in their lane, right? And so we've already talked today about a few of those bold and beautiful and brilliant people of God who are crushing their lanes and showing up in the world, revealing who God created them to be. And I am so super proud of each of them and wishing them all the best in their endeavors. And so listen, once you have experienced their brilliance and you're out there congratulating them and giving them hugs and taking selfies and all that good stuff, let them know that you heard about them on the Majestic Christian Network and the Authentically You radio segments. Okay? So, and now, hi Brenda Malloy, thank you for joining. That is what we're up to at Majestic Christian Network. For anyone interested in doing a commercial there or advertising your business or your product, your ministry or a class that you're doing, or bringing your very own message. You can be a supporter, you can be a sponsor, a contributor, and so forth. You can certainly reach out to me now if you're interested in a slot on the station, because, we're up and running. I'm so excited about that. We are up and running. So if you have a message that you want to deliver, if you have even archived messages that you think are contain some powerful information, then you want to contact me so we can get that stuff onto the network and published and broadcasted across the world. I'm looking forward to doing that. So yeah, we need to start mapping out who's going to go where, what time slots and all that good stuff, fine tuning some of the details. So if you're interested in getting a segment, a time slot, doing a commercial, whatever you think your interest might be, send me an email, chris@christinewilson.net, so that we can get in, we can connect, and then we can see how we can get you fully engaged, however you want to be fully engaged, So Majestic Christian Network is all about getting positivity out to your community, because there are some phenomenal people out there doing some fantastic things that we just simply do not hear about in mainstream media. Majestic Christian Network is looking to sit at the table with y'all and hear about some of these great things going on in your community. All right? We're all about inspiring people to live their very best lives now. You can do it right now. You don't have to wait, I'm telling you. And so that is really truly our why. That's why we're here, to inspire you, to let you know that with Christ in your life, you are enough, and that you have everything you need in order to thrive in your lane. Not just survive, you can thrive in your lane. And so we're here to support you in doing just that. And I know there are at least, if I go back through these names, there are at least 3 people, maybe 4 people that I have seen come on to the live today that I know have messages that needs to be on the Majestic Christian Network. You have a calling, you have a talent, you have abilities, you have messages that need to be on the Majestic Christian Network. So I'm really looking at it. I'm going to contact at least 2 of you myself, but some of the others, you can feel free to contact me so that we can get you tapped into the network and figure out what best place to get you engaged in as a part of the Majestic Christian Network family. All right, because we've hit the road, guys, and we're ready to go. We are ready to go. So yeah, I want you all to start thinking about how you can get your message out to the world. How you can get, and what message you want to get out to the world. Are you a business owner, in need of more visibility? The Majestic Christian Network can make sure your information gets out to the world through 2 platforms. We're going to continue to stream live here on Facebook, and we're going to also simultaneously be streaming on internet radio. When I say it, yes, and we're ready to go. We are up and running. We are live. Our station is live right now. But we're going to start our first segment next week. At least Authentically You Radio, which is what, all right, I guess I should explain that. So next week at 5:30, the midweek motivation is going to change. It's going to change over from midweek motivation with Chris Wilson. It's going to go over to Authentically You Radio. Yay! everything. And I think this has been demonstrated over the 2 years, two plus years, 2.5 years probably, that I've been doing midweek motivation. I think the theme that has been constant throughout all of the things that I have done is that I come from a place of authenticity. Hi, Janet. Thank you so much for watching. That everything that I do, I want it to come from a place of authenticity. And so naturally, my book is called Authentically You, Following Your Own Path. And I'm presently working on a workbook to accompany that, and to accompany the I have a 1-hour workshop that I'm ready to push out. Authentically You, Following Your Own Path workshop that I want to push out. So I'm working on a workbook that I need to get published, that I'm going to self-publish. Yes, I am. So yeah, everything that I do comes from that place of authenticity. So yeah, it would naturally make sense that the radio segment that I would do would be called Authentically You Radio, right? Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, so it makes sense, right? And so that's the flow that we're going to go in. We're going to stay in that flow until we feel a different flow coming. But right now, that's the flow that we're in. So, yes, next week, Wednesday at 5:30, when I hit the live button, or when that live button is hit from the radio station, it will be from the Authentically You Radio. Yay! I love it. So yeah, the messages that you have, the things that you want to get out to the world will be, at that point, can go out on 2 platforms. It will go out on Facebook Live, and it will go out on internet radio. So if you have an upcoming event that needs some exposure, we can help you with that too. If you have a ministry, a talent, a gift, or whatever you want to broadcast, bring that, anything that you want to bring before the world, then we need to have a chat. We do. I know I'm going to mess this name up. I'm from the South. I would call you Joba. Thank you so much for joining. If that's not right, please forgive me. And so what I'm looking for as we are now into the internet radio space, we're looking for people who are willing to, and that are ready, to present their gift to the world. And this is not just to the United States. The SIBN which is the platform that will be hosting us, is international. People from 167 countries listen to SIBN radio. Wow. So I really want to throw the net out right now. I want to throw the net out today to begin to gather in those who want to be a part of the SIBN streaming broadcast, those who want to be a part of the Majestic Christian Network, those who want to be a part of the Authentically You family. I'm throwing the net out right now. I said it right, Joba. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you for joining. So I want to add you to our family as we are adding to our Facebook Live community by branching out into internet radio. So yeah, those who are, motivational speakers, you can have your own segment every week, or however, once a month, however often you want to do it. You can have your own segment. Inspirational speakers, preachers, preachers. You can put your sermons out there. Anyone who has an inspiring, a positive message, we want to talk to you. We want to get you engaged. We want to bring you into the Majestic Christian Network family. All right. Those who have, those inspiring messages, entrepreneurs who want to get their business out before, people in 167 countries. Come on, y'all. That's amazing. Then yes, you want to connect, with us, and we want to connect with you, to get you a spot on the Majestic Christian Network, either as a commercial, or your own segment. You don't have to do a full segment if you don't want to. You can actually do a commercial, 30 seconds, a minute. Hi, Ronnie. Thank you for joining. So yeah, however you want to get engaged, we want you to feel free to be engaged to whatever level you want to be on the Majestic Christian Network. So Leanne Peters, thank you for joining. So yeah, if you want to get engaged on the Majestic Christian Network, send me an email, chris@christinewilson.net. That will be in the header when I upload this video, and we will chat somehow. We will connect so that we can get you engaged in what we're doing. We're looking for authors who want to have a segment to talk about their books or to be interviewed. You don't have to have a whole segment to talk about your book if you don't want to. But we will have an author's corner. So, I think Mary will probably be doing that, and she'll be interviewing authors and talking about your book and, doing book reviews. So, yeah, there's a spot for everybody. There's a segment or some snippet that everybody can get into on the Majestic Christian Network. Playwriters, singers who want to get their music out, come and talk to us. If you have an upcoming project, that you want a CD release, and you want to get it out there, you want to get some exposure, you want to get ahead of it before it even comes out. You can do that. If you're in the process of writing a book and you want to you want people to know about your book before it's even finished being published, then we can do a short commercial for you to get your information out there and have people looking for your book even before it's published. How wonderful is that? Yes. Reach out to us, Chris@ChristineWilson.net. Hi, Kenneth. Thank you for joining. So, yeah, we want to begin together our network family, so that we can have a thriving community here as we support one another. We support one another in the things that God has called us to do. Yeah, all right. I will list all of this information in the intro when I upload this video. Because I really don't want y'all searching around trying to find stuff. You can always go to any of my videos and find all of the information that I have talked about, found all of the links that I have talked about, in doing my videos. So, but yeah, what I really want to really emphasize is that the Majestic Christian Network, which will be streaming on the SIBN network, is in 100 people from 167 countries presently are listening. Presently. All right. So this is our reason. This is our why. That's why we're here, to provide a platform for you, for what God has given you to be dispersed to the nations, not just to the United States, but to the nations. People around the world need what you have. They need what you have. You may reach someone in the farthest part of the world with your message. And even if that one person that you reach is the single person that you have been assigned to reach, okay, when you reach that person, then you will be able to hear Jesus say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." And that's what we all want to hear, right? Absolutely. Joba says, "I'm looking forward to this." Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. We need y'all's prayers, okay? Be praying that we will continue to hear the direction that we're supposed to be going in, and that we'll do that, again, unapologetically, right? And so, guys, we're coming up to, I have 2 minutes left in this segment. So as I close, as I do every week, I want to close with this. If you are in the DMV, anywhere in the DMV, District, Maryland, or Virginia, please join us at Grace Cathedral on Sunday at 11 a.m. for what I know will be God's message for you. All right, our pastor, Elder William A. Covington, First Lady Julia Covington, and the entire Grace Cathedral family will be happy to have you join us as we worship the Lord in spirit and in truth. And listen, you will receive a message that will start your week off right. I promise you. So yes, be on the lookout, guys, because you never know. You just may be a part of the spotlight. So listen, that does it for us today. Thank you, Brenda. Yes, I'm excited too. Thank you so much. And Brenda, we need to talk. There's a spot for you on the Majestic Christian Network. I know. So thank you guys so much for jumping on with me today. Thank you for spending most of you, a lot of you, this entire hour with me today. I don't take it lightly that you give me your time. And listen, those who I have talked about, who you can support, please do support them in their entrepreneurship, as in their entrepreneur journey, as they take take their lives back, take control of their lives back. Support them when you can, and I did not talk about, but I will now. My son, Brian Wilson, he's a photographer. So if you need headshots, and listen, my time is running out, but listen, I do want to say this. For those of you who are speakers, are preachers, are those who are in the public domain, if you go out to speak and people are doing flyers for you, people are doing media posts for you, You need a good headshot. And we're not talking about a selfie. You need to really do a professional photography headshot. All right. It could be out in nature or behind a desk or in a sanctuary. It could be wherever you want it to be. We can even remove the background for you so that you can plop your picture anywhere and it comes in crisp and it comes in clear. That's just a tip. And I really encourage you to get before a real photographer and get some headshots and get 2 or 3 variations of a good headshot, so that when people ask you to come places and speak or do things, to preach, do whatever you do, you have a good headshot. That's my tip for today. So again, thank you guys. It's 6:30. Thank you so much for joining with me today. And I will see you all next week as we kick off the Majestic Christian Network and the Authentically You radio segment. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I love you guys. Take care. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.